For 228 years, treasure hunters have been finding clue after clue suggesting that a vast treasure still lies buried here on Oak Island in Nova Scotia, Canada. And very soon, when season 11 of The Curse of Oak Island premieres, brothers Rick and Marty Lagina, along with their team, will be back attempting to find it. But what is it? And who is behind the mystery? Well, tonight, we're counting down the most complex cases made over the years to explain not only who done it, but also what they left hidden deep below. Number 3, the Christopher Columbus theory.
I think one of the hardest challenges in any conversation is to get to the truth.
In 2015, researcher Jeff Irving presented Rick, Marty, Craig, and the team with what certainly sounded like a pretty incredible scenario.
What I think we're looking for is the Ark of the Covenant. At this point, I will tell you that I believe Christopher Columbus was responsible for the Ark coming to Oak Island.
It may surprise some people, but Christopher Columbus was actually directly connected to the Knights Templar. His wife, Filipa Moniz Perestrello, was the daughter of Bartolomeu Perestrello, who served as the Grand Master for the Portuguese sect of the Templar Order. And even though Christopher Columbus's mission to North America in 1492 was financed by the Spanish crown, his ships traversed the Atlantic Ocean with the Portuguese version of the Templar cross emblazoned on their sails. But what gives Jeff Irving's theory its strongest footing was discovered in 2020 as the team searched the spoils of a recently drilled borehole in the Money Pit area.
Oh.
Yeah, what is that?
What do you think this is? Careful there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Looks like leather almost.
It for sure looks like leather. Like a heel.
Or a heel, yeah, it could be a heel.
A heel?
It was a boot heel, to be exact, that the team immediately submitted for carbon dating.
Talk to us, Craig. What do we got?
I've got 2 time periods, but there's such a small gap between them. It's basically 1 time period, 95% sure this is what it is. 1492 to 1662.
1492?
Isn't that amazing?
Holy crap.
Columbus could have been wearing this shoe.
Number 2, the Military Order of Christ theory.
Wow. It's quite impressive, though. It's incredibly impressive. Stand right there and you'll get a real good perspective. Unbelievable.
For decades, there has been speculation that the triangle-shaped swamp in the middle of Oak Island might be man-made. But when the team drained and meticulously excavated the southeast corner of the brackish bog in 2020, they pretty much proved it to be true.
That looks exactly like an old Roman road.
It's possible, you know, indicates probably a loading or unloading from a ship.
The stone road, or possible ship's wharf, connected right to a cobblestone pathway that possibly leads in the direction of the Money Pit. But who could have created it and then hidden it so well?
This is a type of road that was built in Europe in the 1500s.
Wow.
If you look for the way roads were generally made by people in Nova Scotia, what comes to my mind is the Portuguese. The Portuguese were active in Nova Scotia from 1522 up till no later than 1583.
When Terry DeVoe, the president of the New England Antiquities Association, speculated that the road could be 500 years old and of Portuguese origin, the team was certainly intrigued. And then in 2021, they found a piece of cannon metal on Lot 4 and 2 small stone shots, one of which came from deep in the Money Pit area, that other experts believed were of the same cultural vintage.
Corian.
Oh, good morning.
Welcome to Portugal. Thank you.
This prompted researcher Corian Mall to invite Rick and members of the team to visit a number of medieval sites and churches in Portugal.
Oh, wow.
That's impressive.
Wow. While there, Corian shared his theory that members of the Portuguese sect of the Knights Templar, known as the Military Order of Christ, may have visited Oak Island in the 16th century.
Hey, guys.
Generational.
You might be interested in this one over here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I can see it from here.
So this symbol is definitely on the 90-foot stone.
At numerous locations where the Portuguese Templars held strongholds between the 12th and 16th centuries, the team saw carvings and structures that have also been found on Oak Island.
What I can't help compare it to is the design of the money pit.
This even included a 90-foot deep ceremonial well that appeared to be a replica of the money pit.
Oh, look at that.
So I would say that's a match to this.
At a military museum in Lisbon, they saw a 500-year-old cannon that was a perfect fit for the stone shots that were discovered on the island.
Look at how beautifully constructed. I mean, rough and raw, but look at the curvature. Look at the degree of slope remains constant. It's beautiful.
If there is a Portuguese connection to the construction of the road in the swamp, maybe this is the blueprint.
But the smoking gun for Corian's theory was found in the town of Alcadão de Serra. There, Rick and the team walked down a Roman-era stone road connected to a cobblestone pathway that was an exact match to the one unearthed in the swamp.
We were going to drive up in a chariot. We changed our minds.
I'm so glad to see the show is finally on the road.
And it is beautiful. You could have taken a snapshot of this, and you could have taken a snapshot of the stone path on Oak Island, and you wouldn't tell the difference. To me, that matches up perfectly.
Number 1, Zena Halpern's Knights Templar theory.
Hello?
Hi, Zena. It's Doug.
Hi.
In 2016, the late New York-based author Zena Halpern shared her incredible research with Rick, Marty, Craig, and the team.
There's a map that shows Nova Scotia. We have a map of Oak Island, and then we have the cipher.
There was a mention in the document dated 1178 to 1180 that the Templar voyage to the northeastern part of America took place, and that the Templars had made landfall on an island of oaks.
Zena's work centered on 12th and 14th century maps featuring Oak Island, along with a mysterious cipher that she believed had been created by members of the Knights Templar.
When I found the map, which is dated 1347, I began to put pieces together. It's all connected to gold.
The Templar Order had been founded in Jerusalem during the 12th century to fight for Christian interests in the Holy Land during the Crusades. It is believed by many that while headquartered on the original site of King Solomon's Temple, members of the order discovered many priceless religious treasures and then established satellite strongholds all across Europe. It is known that in the 14th century, the Knights Templar were suddenly disbanded by the Pope and the King of France based on charges of heresy. However, some believe the true purpose was to commandeer their treasures. Many Templars were imprisoned and executed, but their treasures were never found.
We're uncovering something here that people haven't seen for hundreds of years.
In 2017, the Fellowship uncovered a massive stone-paved feature that had been constructed across the middle of the swamp.
Oh, holy crow.
What are we looking at?
I think something really important here.
Which Dr. Spooner was able to carbon date when he found a branch lodged within it.
There's the dates we're getting.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are they?
Around 1200 AD.
Medieval.
Medieval, baby. This is quite a thing you found here. Beautiful well.
And you'll recall the stone well on Lot 26. You know, the one that contains high trace evidence of silver. Dr. Spooner was able to date that as well.
The date I got was 1028 to 1172.
Oh, no way!
That is really cool. 12th century, right?
Yeah.
So, if Zena may have been right that the Knights Templar visited Oak Island in the 12th century, was she also correct that they returned some 200 years later? Well, the team has not only found evidence of a wooden structure just north of the swamp where Zena's believed 1347 Templar map indicates the presence of a dam.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
But in 2017, Rick and Gary Drayton made one of the most profound discoveries in the history of the treasure hunt.
Holy shamoly, all right.
It's a cross.
That's a cross.
Thanks to cutting-edge scientific testing, the small lead cross found at Smith's Cove was proven to have originated in southern France and made from lead that was mined in the 14th century. It was an exact match to a carving that Rick and members of the team saw in a 14th century Templar prison in Dome, France, and a mirror image of a Templar cave that they recently visited in Camerano, Italy. So, is it possible that Zena Halpern uncovered the true origin of the Oak Island treasure mystery?
I do think that there was a cabal, a group of people or entities or organizations. That information was passed down over centuries, perhaps even millennia. So does that mean there were successive attempts to construct something to conduct some enterprise and that it was done over centuries? I don't have any other explanation.